Hello, creative minds. Welcome back to our Creative Skills Society. Today, we are going to dive into the fascinating world of animation using Adobe Animate CC. We will be focusing on how to animate while keeping the principles of animation and strong posing in mind. Whether you are a beginner or experienced animator, you are bound to learn something new in this tutorial. So, let's get started. This animation tutorial is meant to develop your understanding the flow of digital animation, importance of strong posing, what is merge drawing, benefits of pose-to-pose animation over straight-ahead animation. And this exercise will also boost your imagination and creative approach. This tutorial was recorded using an older version of Animate CC. However, it is important to note that the tool and interface have remained consistent across newer versions as well. I am assuming you have a basic understanding of Animate CC and the 12 animation principles of animation. To kickstart any animation, posing is absolutely critical. Strong posing is the foundation of your animation. It helps convey the character's personality, emotions, and action effectively. I will show you how to create a character pose and define key posing that reflect the character's action and emotions. I have created few tutorials on strong posing. Take some time and understand the process. I am sharing the links in the description. Remember, strong posing sets the stage for the entire animation. It's not only an important part of your animation but also starting point. On screen, you can see two different character poses. Pose 1 is on left side and pose 2 on right side. The one on left side, pose 1, is weak pose. If you do a silhouette, then a lot of action will not be clear as the details will get hidden. We can't identify where the sword is, how the hand is placed. So that's why this pose is considered a weak pose. On the right hand side, pose 2 is a strong pose because our character's confidence is visible through this pose, and that's why it looks aggressive, which is why we will categorize it as a strong pose. It's an ideal pose to start our animation. This is a cleanup stage where we erase the rough and unwanted lines and draw one single refined line. So we are going with right hand side pose, pose 2. Now let's begin with the animation. This is the Animate CC interface and here are key poses. We will move from first pose to last pose, first keyframe to last keyframe. One of the 12 principles of animation is pose to pose drawing. It has its benefits over straight ahead drawing. We will be drawing referring to the drawing scale. The middle key pose which fill the gap between these two key poses. We will be using Animate CC's brush tool for this. We will make use of onion skin feature since we are working on the in-between drawing, which is the pose between the first and the last. So for the drawing, character's shoulder has to be a little bent down. So that's why we are also bending the knee. This will help ensure that we work on arc. An arc is a one-off animation principle. The character's face will flow this arc, which is why we are positioning it slightly downwards and tilted. Here are our guidelines for the face to help maintain the proportion. Here, we will leverage the Animate CC tools to save time and efforts, where instead of drawing the same thing over and over again, I will be copying and pasting a few elements, which is why I separated out the hand from the main body. Now we are working on the rough pose, focusing on the character's basic gesture. A slight tilt for the head and a little more bend in knees is required. Let's also clean up our drawing a tad bit. Now let's check the process so far. We have to check if our animation has the right flow. As of now, let me reduce the frames. Note that I am not fixing the timing. It is just for checking. In checking, I felt that the head position and rotation required fix up. So let's fix it. In traditional or classical animation, animator has to follow the same process. Check, fix, and check again. Let's start with hand. We'll reuse the sword drawing, which helps to maintain the sword volume. Now here let's lift the shoulder a little bit. Let's put in right place. I think now let's erase few lines to avoid confusion. As I mentioned, we'll reuse the sword, putting it in the right place. Few adjustments and modifications. This hand is not required. Looks better now. While doing the in-between drawing, that particular pose has to come in the right place. Now let's do some cleanup. If you are observing the process, you will understand that I'm doing rough drawing, then checking the sequence. Once I feel it's working, then only I'm working on cleanup. Character's upper body animation is nearly complete. So now let's work on the feet. So let me edit. Again using Animate CC tool, free transformation tool. I'm just adjusting that thing and that will work. So no need to draw again and again. So with help of this you can maintain the character also. So that is the beauty of digital animation. So let me clean this up again. Yes, we have now completed the feet animation as well. Let's do cleanup for the face. Control 2 or Command 2 to see entire work area. Over here I am getting a feel of head is little off center. We will put into practice one of the key principles of animation from the 12 principles, which is stretch and squash, and adjust the head's proportion accordingly. Let's take a look how it's working. Looks fine. Yeah, now let's work on anticipation pose. Let's move in a little back. Again, use of free transformation tool to edit, to maintain the character. Little up and will spread out. Let's reposition the sword, little rotation to maintain the arc. Let's see, hands are working. Now it's time to work on body, repositioning the head now. Little I felt that it's not proper, so little adjustments and body. So over here I will prefer to draw little broader shape, broad chest. It will enhance the pose. He's ready, he is inspired, he is in aggression. I'm using groups also while working. By the way, group is the facility which Animate CC provides. It's a Animate CC feature. So it will help me to work properly, to draw, easy to edit. Check, fix, check. Let's do that. Now over here I want to change that shape using distort tool. It's a sub tool of free transformation tool. Let's check how that shape is working. Okay, now let's work on little bit on sword. Yeah, small rotation. Let's fix hand position. Overall, let's squeeze that pose. Now the right hand is coming little up. Let's reduce that. A small rotation will work. Little curvish arm. Now let's take a look on entire action. Adding few frames in the end, few adjustments in the timing to get better understanding. Now let's move ahead. Holding Alt to shift it from one side. This pose has to be little stretched upward and little back. Let's adjust the sword and this hand, which was just as little curve to maintain the arc. In the end, we need this bounce. So this guy is coming forcefully and he's settling down. Let's do some cleanup stuff. We need to show that stretched hand. Now let's see how it's coming out. Yes, that feel that stretched out and relaxed. Stretched out and little bit relaxed. That is coming. Let's clean out this hand. While working on the sequence, this is my workflow. First I do some rough animation, then checking, then little cleanup, again checking, again cleanup. So this is how I am working when it comes to digital animation. But yes, when it comes to cell animation or paper animation or traditional animation, at that time the process is little different. On paper you have to do entire rough drawing, then in between drawings, cleanup. These are the stages. And of course, when it comes to digital animation, you can see direct result, right? So you can run your animation, find the errors and fix it. So it's a quick process in that way. So yeah, let me check how it's coming. Okay, so little bit. Let me put stretch and squash here. Fix up in head. Now see how the arc is working. Now over here I want to add one more drawing to create slowing. Saving some efforts by using same drawing Our body animation is now ready. So let's move on the feet. So over here I simply separate it out and doing repositioning of upper body. Little bit work on arm, repositioning the arm and sword. Now let's check. Now he is slowly coming back and the aim punch. Now let's put one in between this pose and anticipation pose. In the next pose he bent down, so it's a total anticipation. But over here I am not using previous drawing because the posture is changing now. Over here I am using red color. The reason is onion skin is showing green color and I don't want to confuse myself, so I change the color to red. Now body is working. Let's fix the feet because they are suddenly disappearing. So let me copy from previous drawing and paste in place, Ctrl Shift V. Let's do little adjustments in feet. Make it proper in between. But before we move ahead, let's set a timing for this drawing. Let's give a pause. So he comes back, it will hold, and then aggression. Now here we need one in between. I want to add that force. So this pose has to be little distorted. This drawing is called smears drawing. A great animator, Chuck Jones, has invented this technique. So this drawing helps to show the speed. Of course, this is an exaggerated one. If you look at a single drawing, it will look very odd. But when it comes in motion, it definitely adds a lot of value. Observe how I am drawing and flow along. we need to adjust these supporting lines. It has to be in flow. They have to follow previous drawing direction. So here I am adding few lines which are related to previous drawing. And if you notice, I am gradually reducing the length of those lines. Now let's see the result, how it's coming out. We need one more frame over here. Over here we need to add one in between because it's too jerky. So let's do that. Over here I prefer to draw manually, no copy and pasting, because these drawings are too close. Let's check the action once. In the end, it's settling down very quickly. So let's add one more drawing. Let's make it more smooth. So here I'm adding another in between. Let's add one more frame, add one more hold over here. To wrap this up, we will add some final touches like color correction and drawings, and using only black for all frames to enhance the overall viewing experience. Then I will walk you through the process of exporting of animation in the next part so you can share it with the world. And there you have it. You have just created an animated masterpiece while keeping the principles of animation and strong posing in mind. I hope this tutorial has been helpful to you. I would like to see your animation. So share your output to me on WhatsApp for further evaluation and feedback. For more such helpful tutorials, make sure to visit Creative Skills Society's YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss any tutorial from CSS.